The Road Beyond College. College life, with all its laughter and learning, did not last forever. Like every beautiful phase of life, it slowly moved toward its end. The final year arrived quietly, yet it carried a heavy meaning. For John, it was a year of reflection. He often found himself sitting on the same back bench, looking around the classroom, realizing how much he had changed since the first day he walked through the college gate with fear and hope mixed together. Now fear had faded, confidence had taken its place. Exams, projects, and presentations filled their days. Nights were spent discussing dreams, careers, and future plans. Sometimes John and Harry would stay awake until late, lying on the hostel terrace, staring at the sky. "What do you want to become, John?" Harry asked one night, breaking the silence. John thought for a moment. "I don't just want a job," he replied calmly. "I want a life that feels meaningful, something that allows me to grow, and maybe give something back." Harry smiled. "That sounds exactly like you." As graduation approached, excitement mixed with uncertainty. Some students had job offers, others were planning higher studies, and some were simply confused. John stood somewhere in between. He had good grades and strong recommendations from teachers, yet his heart was searching for something more than success. On the last day of college, the campus felt different. The classrooms that once echoed with laughter now felt quiet. Students clicked photos, exchanged promises, and hugged each other tightly. When John and Harry stood near the college gate for the last time, neither of them spoke for a while. "So," Harry said finally, forcing a smile, "this is it." John nodded. "This place changed my life." Harry looked at him seriously. "You changed your life." They hugged, not knowing how long it would be before they met again. The first step into the world. Life after college was not as easy as John had imagined. The real world demanded more than intelligence and kindness. It demanded patience, resilience, and courage. John moved to a new city for work. It was bigger, louder, and faster than the one he grew up in. The office building was tall, filled with strangers who were busy chasing targets and deadlines. The routine was strict, the pressure was real, and expectations were high. The first few months were challenging. John struggled to adjust. There were days when he returned to his small rented room feeling exhausted and lonely. Sometimes the silence reminded him of his childhood sorrow, but this time he did not let it consume him. Instead, he wrote. John began writing his thoughts in a notebook. He wrote about the village, his Uncle Peter, college memories, Harry, and his inner struggles. Writing became his escape, his therapy. It helped him understand himself better. Slowly, his hard work began to show results. His managers noticed his dedication. His calm approach to problems impressed his colleagues. He never raised his voice, never panicked, and never gave up easily. People began to trust him. One day, his manager called him into the office. "You're different, John," he said. "You don't just work for success, you work with heart." Those words stayed with John for a long time. Distance and friendship. Even though John and Harry lived in different cities now, their friendship remained strong. They talked on the phone almost every weekend. Harry was pursuing higher studies and was as energetic as ever. "Don't become too serious," Harry joked once. "Remember, you're still allowed to laugh." John smiled. "You're still my reminder." Their conversations were full of encouragement. Whenever John felt tired or confused, Harry's voice brought comfort. And whenever Harry doubted himself, John's calm wisdom guided him. Time passed, careers grew, and responsibilities increased, but their bond remained untouched. A return to the village. Years later, John finally found time to visit the village again. It had been a long time since he last walked on those familiar roads. As the bus entered the village, his heart beat faster. Some things had changed. New houses were built, roads were better, and children played with mobile phones instead of handmade toys.
But some things remained the same. The air still felt peaceful, the fields were still green, and the silence still spoke loudly. John walked slowly, breathing deeply. Every step brought back memories, laughter, freedom, innocence. When he reached his Uncle Peter's house, he paused. The door looked older now, the walls slightly faded. He knocked gently. The door opened. "John?" a familiar voice said in disbelief. Uncle Peter stood there, older, with more wrinkles, but with the same warm smile. Without saying a word, John hugged him tightly. That night, they sat together under the stars, just like before. John shared his journey, his struggles, his growth. Uncle Peter listened quietly, pride shining in his eyes. "You carried this place with you," he said softly. "That's why it never left you." John realized something important that night. The village was not just a memory, it was a foundation. A new purpose. After returning from the village, John felt a shift inside him. His writing became deeper. He began sharing his thoughts online, writing about emotions, growth, sorrow, and strength. To his surprise, people connected with his words. Messages started coming in. "Your story feels like my life. You helped me understand my pain. Thank you for putting my feelings into words." John was overwhelmed. He never wrote to impress anyone. He wrote to heal himself, yet his healing was helping others. That's when he found his purpose. He continued working at his job, but dedicated his free time to writing. He spoke at small events, colleges, and workshops about emotional strength and personal growth. His calm voice and honest words touched hearts. One day, he invited Harry to attend one of his talks. After the session, Harry hugged him tightly. "I always knew," he said. "You were meant for this." John laughed softly. "You were part of this journey, too." Life brought another surprise. During one of his workshops, John met a woman named Emma. She was thoughtful, kind, and deeply understanding. She listened more than she spoke, and when she spoke, her words carried warmth. Their conversations were slow and meaningful. John did not rush. He had learned the value of patience. Emma admired John's honesty and depth. She did not see his past as weakness, but strength. With her, John felt peace. Love for John was no longer about excitement alone. It was about understanding, respect, and growth. Full circle. Years passed. John stood one day at the edge of the village field, watching children run freely. He was older now, wiser, and fulfilled. Harry stood beside him, laughing as always. Emma was there too, smiling peacefully. John realized how far he had come. From a sorrowful child to a confident man, from silence to voice, from pain to purpose. His journey was not ending, it was only evolving.